Hi, my name is Sarah. I decided to start this channel just to sort of talk about things that are going on in the world that I think are important, um, and to create a forum for you guys to tell me things that you're interested in that I can then maybe bring people in to talk about, or that I can talk about if it's something I'm knowledgeable on. Um, Excuse this background. We just moved and I decided to do this because I have a little bit more time on my hands now since I don't really know anybody where we are. But because of that, it was kind of spur of the moment. I don't have stuff set up, so we're filming on my porch because my soon to be 1-year old is asleep, and that's a procedure. If any of you have children that you're raising, you know how that can be. My child loves to fight sleep. So, oh, if you're wondering where I got these awesome nails from, they're actually press-ons. They're not like, sorry, I didn't mean to flick you off. They're not like, I didn't get them done at the salon. I ordered them from this site called Rave Nails. I'll link them below if you're interested. These actually came pointier and longer, which is fine. That's how they were on the site. I just couldn't handle them because of my personal preference, but they were really easy to file down. None of the paint or the color came off, which I thought was cool. So if you do go on there and you see a design you like, but you're unsure of the shape of the nails, like, go ahead and get it because you can really make it whatever you want. And they came super fast, and it's like a woman-owned independent thing, so you're like supporting a business, which is cool. I think that this is, been probably a good time for her to kind of bolster her business, because salons were closed and people are still worried about it. So I hope so, at least, because she does a great job. So, oh, and she sends like these little accent nails in the package. So I like to have one different nail, and it was cool because I didn't know I was going to get these, but it's like a lizard skin. So anyway, so my name's Sarah. I'm a 31-year-old woman. I live in North Carolina currently. Was born and raised in Georgia. So if you think I sound really southern, I don't think my accent's that bad, but I'm sure if you're not from the South, I do sound quite hickish. But because I've heard that before. Again, this is something that I've been thinking about for a while, and I just decided to finally do it. If you could see the way my camera's set up now, it's literally propped on a Raid can on my banister of my porch. So if things go well with this, it'll only get better from here, so just bear with me. So what I do for a living is I am a sexual assault and legal advocate at a domestic violence shelter. And before that, I did a bunch of other things. I worked in a lot of restaurants. I managed a restaurant where I worked over like a bunch of teenagers and young adults. And I know maybe compared to some of you guys watching, you feel like I'm a young adult, but I was much older than them. And so it kind of brought to my attention a lot of things that aren't discussed enough that are important. And also just because I worked for other nonprofits and because of what I went to school for, I'm really mindful of social issues, and I think that there's a place to discuss that more on YouTube. Sorry, I just did this makeup like in a hurry after my child went to sleep to try to fit in doing this video while she was sleeping, and I have like concealer lips. I should have put something on them, but it's fine. That's not the point of this channel anyway. So first of all, I want to start by acknowledging my privilege. I'm obviously a white person. I am in a heterosexual marriage, so even though I don't think that I necessarily qualify as 100% heterosexual, in fact, I know that I don't, I'm really more of a pansexual person. I get to live day to day with all the privilege of a heterosexual marriage. Like I said, I'm white. That comes with a tremendous amount of privilege, especially in the South. So when it comes to those issues, I really want to hear what my viewers who are people of color or who are living in a non-heteronormative relationship have to say. My hope and wish is that eventually this will get big enough that I'll be able to have guests that can speak to these kind of things, like who live those experiences. So just know if I ever speak about those experiences, I'm coming from a place of privilege and I acknowledge that. And if I ever cross any kind of line, it's like totally okay to call me out. One of the big motivating factors for me making this is just I'm hoping it can be an outlet for me also. I see a lot of crazy stuff on a day-to-day basis, and obviously I can't disclose details about the clients that I help at the domestic violence shelter because that's all confidential, but just to talk generally about social problems that I see impact my clients, I think will be an outlet for me because it can make me feel like I'm doing more than I am able to do at my job. And also just the fact that I'm a sensitive soul and a big extrovert, and I don't know a lot of people up here, and I get lonely. And hopefully talking to you guys will give me an outlet for that also. My husband works a lot right now. We both work full-time, but he's actually, I think, probably working more than full-time right now. He just got this job that he loves, so I'm trying to be supportive of that. And I think this will help with that too, like just feeling like I have something to do, like during the day when I'm home with the baby, which, like I say, I do work 40 hours a week, so it's not like I just have all this free time, but this is something that I can just do on my own, you know, so that's good. Hold on just a second. I'm so sorry, there's going to be a cut there, and the camera angle might be different because my phone almost ran out of storage. That's another thing, like, I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to have to figure this whole thing out from scratch. So just bear with me the first couple times I do this. I promise I'll get better. I'm a relatively smart lady, so maybe I'll be able to figure it out and get better. We'll see. We'll see. So let's see. So yeah, I think this will be a good outlet for me. And then the main initial content that I'm going to be covering just in the beginning, just because since I work in this field, I feel like I have a little bit more room to talk on it, is going to be on sexual assault advocacy, legal advocacy, getting TPOs. Obviously, anything legal is going to be different from state to state, but I'm going to kind of talk about that and the issues I see in there. We're going to talk a lot about consent, which I know, like, maybe some of you feel like has been beaten to death, but obviously not enough, because there's still tons of sexual assault happening, and I feel like it's especially bad. Domestic violence too is really bad right now because people are stuck at home more with their abusers, and it just breaks my heart. So that's the initial thing that I'm going to talk about just to begin with. I'm not going to get into too much today. This is really just going to be an introductory video, but the next couple videos, that'll be the main focus. And then if I get some views on those, and those of you who are viewing want to leave comments and make suggestions about other stuff you want me to cover, I'm happy to do that. Because it's like social issues, and look at the glue under my nails, because I did it while my child was trying to eat them. Like, look how raunchy that is. But just, that's not the person that made the nails' fault. That's a character flaw on my part. So anyway, we have a lot of leeway on what we can discuss. I want it to be completely open. I don't want you to be afraid to ask me anything. Like, nothing's really off limits, and if we stumble across something that I'm not comfortable discussing, I'll try to find someone else who can discuss it, or if it's just like beyond the realm of what I feel like I want on my channel, then I'll just say that. I don't have a problem communicating my boundaries. So my goals for this channel is, like I said, that I want it to be an open forum. I want it to be a back and forth discussion between the viewers and myself and my guests. and I really want it to be a place where no matter where you are, because I've lived in a lot of rural areas that weren't necessarily the most progressive, which, you know, what I mean by that is that there wasn't even the room to discuss things, social issues or things that maybe I felt kind of radically about. I felt like I had to hide that because of where I was living, and like you don't want to make trouble for yourself, and especially if you're doing something in like community service like I am, you don't want to alienate people. Like you have to sort of fall in line a little bit to be able to do your job. And I'm really fortunate where I'm at now because I work with a lot of really accepting women, um, and I'm just very lucky, but that hasn't always been the case. So I sort of want this to be for people, even if you're not in the most progressive area, or, you know, not even just progressive, but if you're just in a place where you feel like you can't discuss and be heard and ask questions, or if you do live in a really progressive area and that makes you scared to ask questions because you feel like you're going to be looked at as stupid or something like that, like I want this to be the place where you can ask that. I know the word safe space gets thrown around, but I feel like that is what I want this to be. So yeah, that's my goal for this channel. And I guess what I would, if I could have my dream world, this would get big enough where I could have some really great guests and really great discussions and have a better setup and better editing equipment and better cameras and stuff like that. Like, I just want to get enough of a return on it where I can make this good and better for you guys. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. So I'm going to try to upload to start 2 or 3 times a week, just because I do have that kind of time, sort of. I mean, a lot of it is dependent on my child and how much she chooses to nap, because I really have to do this when I'm at home and she's asleep and my husband is at work. So, you know, we're going to try to do it as much as possible. If I'm able to do it more, that would be stellar. And if I'm only able to do it 2 times a week, like, that's still pretty good. I just want it to be habitual because everything that I've watched about being like a successful YouTuber is said like treat it like a job. So I'm trying to commit as much as reasonably possible. So yeah, thanks for checking me out. I was a little nervous, so I probably and like paused a lot and did all that stuff that you're really not supposed to do, but that'll get better with time. You know, everybody gets better at everything with practice. So thanks for checking me out, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video.